speaks volumes to the work I've put in, and everybody taking the time to watch the Wizards and watch what we do. So I'm definitely happy and appreciative in that standpoint. But this is by far the best and the easiest All-Star I've been a part of, without all the extra stuff that I have to do. So I'm literally here showing up to play a game and leaving, which I love. So compared to the other two, I love this one.
And what is your reaction to the news that Joel and Ben will not be playing tonight due to contact tracing?
Yeah, so actually Joel just texted me about 30 minutes ago saying his barber had it or whatever, and it's kind of messed up. That's unfortunate, but they're both more than deserving of it, of being here. Just hope we can keep everybody safe. Obviously, that's the biggest and the main concern of being down here. So, I mean, that's unfortunate. Hopefully everybody can, stay safe in that regard, and we can have a good game tonight.
Fred.
Hey, Brad. You had discussed a couple of weeks ago, like, I guess reservations might be the best way to put it, about just an all-star game in general. Obviously, a bunch of other players said similar stuff. Why do you think it was that the players ended up kind of coming together and deciding that everybody's going to go?
Honestly, it's I don't want to say we didn't have a choice, but it's in our CBA. In our CBA, it says that there has to be an all-star game every year, and it's a lot of language in there that can get ugly if we didn't necessarily come down and go through with the all-star game. So there's still guys reserved about it, I'm sure. I'm still reserved about it. I'm trying to stay healthy and get as much rest as I possibly can, because we jump right back into the season right after this. So I'm with you in that regard, Fred. I mean, everybody's going to be a little bit reserved still, but at the same time, it's in our CBA that, all-star game has to be had.
Thanks, Brad.
Chase.
Hey, Brad. You played in this game before as a reserve. Now you're a starter. When it comes to the actual game itself, does that change your approach? Like, do you feel like maybe you can do more or be more aggressive looking for your own plays?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about how I'm really going to approach the game. Maybe see how my body feels. I mean, that's definitely the most important. So, I mean, I don't know. I've never been a starter, so I don't know how the minutes are going to work. Hopefully, I'm not playing a lot of minutes, honestly. But I'm just going to go out, have fun, compete, and definitely try not to get hurt. That's the most important thing. So.
Christos.
Bradley, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I would like to ask you, how special is this appearance for you? Because it's your third time as an All-Star, but it's the first as a starter. How do you live it, and how special it is for you?
It's super special. It means a lot to me personally to be able to have the respect of fans and my peers and the media and even coaches around the league, just being able to have their respect of knowing what I was doing this year and giving me the honor of starting in a game. Like you said, this is my third time, and I've been a reserve in the start. Still hasn't really hit me. Probably won't until my name is called. But I'm just, I'm ecstatic, to be able to see the numbers that I had this year, the number of votes that is, and just to be able to see just the progression of, I guess, my popularity in the league. So that's not something that I play for, but it's cool to be able to have that recognition. So I'm definitely excited about tonight. I'm happy I'm here, and more than happy I'm a starter.
Dan.
Hey, Bradley. I'm curious, kind of in the course of your NBA career, even maybe back to Florida, how much is just sort of the notion of practice changed? What goes on in a practice, how hard people work, how much team stuff has changed? And even in this COVID year, How has practice changed for you guys?
No, well, I mean, it's predicated on the coach and the system, honestly. In college, we practiced pretty much every day, very hard. You had to make sure your ankles were taped. And, Coach Donovan wasn't playing those playing them games. Then when I got to DC, Whitman was pretty much the same way. He had the Bobby Knight mentality of we're going to go hard, we're going to practice and shoot around. It's the same thing. We're going to go hard, be locked in, and practice, kind of. And Brooks was more or less the laid back guy, and practices began to dial down more. But I think that's been a transition of the league. Like everybody doesn't practice as much as they used to. And then especially this year with COVID, like we can't practice. Everything is on a state-by-state basis, and large group gatherings can't be had. Like a lot of times we're not even able to eat together in the same conference room like that we usually eat in. So it's been an adjustment and a change. The practices, I feel like the longer I've been in, the more dialed back they've been. For sure.
Does it change when you've got a new teammate, a pretty high profile teammate in Russell, and practice would be good for you guys, I would imagine, right? As you tried to figure each other out. And obviously there were a lot of different things with injuries and stuff like that. But do you think the lack of practice has hurt teams?
Yes and no. Because we play every other day. So, I mean, you kind of have to ask yourself, where do you have time to practice? In terms of resting your body, getting, proper rest and everything in that nature, and making sure everybody's healthy. If we play every other day, it's going to be really tough to practice. So, we approach it how we do, and we're all professionals. That's kind of why we get paid to do what we do. And the beauty of our situation is we have a lot of great character guys who are able to adapt and adjust on the fly. So when we added Russ, that was a plug and play. That was easy. It's just learning how he plays, learning where he likes his spots. I think that's been an adjustment. And then ultimately us being healthy is the ultimate thing for us. Once we had guys back healthy, we were able to find our rhythm and create some rhythm, and guys get back into the flow of the game.
Neil.
Brad, congrats again. I wanted to ask you, obviously, All-Star break, you get a few days off. That's not going to be something that you have the luxury of in the second half of the season. You work a lot with Jesse and the performance team to take care of your body. What does All-Star break look like for you in just terms of rejuvenating yourself?
I would literally probably have a total of maybe 48 hours of rest, 72 hours maybe. Let's see, off yesterday, play today, report tomorrow, leave Monday. So, we leave Tuesday, I'm sorry. I get as much rest as I possibly can. I'm still in season mode. Like Jesse's still here, so I'll still get my work in today. I'll still approach today's game like a regular game. I'll still get that same work in. Shoot at the same time, hopefully, and go through my routine just like I would a normal game. And then right after that, we go back home tonight. I'll rest tonight. Another day off tomorrow in DC, and then we fly out on Tuesday to get ready for Memphis on Wednesday. So I'll just use the next couple of days, man, to just try to stay off my feet as much as possible. But at the same time, I'm still in season mode to where I'm locked in and ready to go.
Naveen.
Hey Brad, congratulations to making it to the All-Star game once again. This is Naveen Gunglani from the Philippines. You guys, the Wizards, started building some momentum before the All-Star break. You guys started to get healthy and racked up some wins. You had a successful West Coast road trip. Do you think during that trip where you beat teams like the Lakers, things really clicked and maybe a connection with Russ started developing better?
Yeah, you can say that. I think just Russ being a little bit more healthier helps us. Us getting our full team back helped us, and we understood that the West Coast was all playoff championship caliber teams we were playing, and we couldn't just go in and play the way we've been playing early in the year. You know, we had a really good practice before we went out west, and we kind of carried that momentum on throughout into the games, and it was definitely great to be able to see us go 3-1 on that West Coast trip, and then be 7-3 in our last 10 games. So we've been playing really good, but I think it's just a testament to us getting back healthy, being dialed into defense, because that's what's going to win us games. That's what keeps us in games, and honestly, everybody just getting their rhythm back. Like DB has his flow back. Rui is getting his flow. Russ has his flow. I've been flowing all year, so it's been good for us.
Julio.
Hi, Brad. Congratulations for the All-Star game. What do you think, what characteristic of your game do you think makes you an NBA All-Star?
You said, what part of my game do you think makes me an all-star?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I can score the ball solidly.
Okay, thank you.
Quinn.
What's up, B?
Q, what's up?
A lot of people in here with a lot of good questions, but I want to know first, did you get to watch last night's 2v2 between Harlow, 2 Chainz, Quavo, and Lil Baby? And what were your takeaways from last night's game, if you did get to watch that?
I did get to watch. I did see highlights, but I will say I know Quavo and 2 Chainz. Quavo can actually hoop, and I heard he had like 17 out of the 21 points. So
Yeah.
that didn't surprise me. And 2 Chainz can hoop, but Drew, my trainer, actually went down to Atlanta and worked out 2 Chainz for like the last couple of days to get him ready for it.
And
It didn't go good for them. So I'm definitely, I got to get on Drew head about that. You wasting people time, man. So no, but that was good for the culture, good for Atlanta. Quavo's a hooper, but I think Hitman Holla from St. Louis can give Quavo a run for his money.
now, Holla
That's
is
a fact.
he's definitely tough. And my second question for you, All-Star is all about swag and different things, colorways and stuff like that. Do you have anything special on your feet tonight, or any accessories that you're going to break out for this All-Star game?
I know I'm wearing all black tonight. I honestly have absolutely no idea what Jordan shoe I'm wearing in the game.
Okay.
I think it's something. I know they got something special for me. They sent me a practice shoe, but we don't have practice. We can't practice. But I'm sure I'll have some heat on tonight.
And size 11 in those powder blue ones, my brother.
Size 11, I got it.
Just hit me up.
Brianna.
Hey, Brad. So my question is kind of similar to Quentin's. Of course, you always represent St. Louis. And I've noticed you've been wearing a lot of St. Louis clothing brands. Tonight, how does it feel in your brother to represent St. Louis in the All-Star game?
Oh, it's amazing. I always try to represent my hometown as much as I can. Like, there's so many, whether it's rocking Icons Never Die, or rocking the Legacy brand, rocking the Patience brand. It's a lot of them back home that I just try to uplift. A lot of Black-owned companies I try to uplift and be a part of, and try to get their names out there, their product out there. It'll be very, very exciting tonight to be able to share the floor with Jason. Us literally being from same city, living 5 minutes from each other, going to the same school, pretty much having almost the identical path to each other tonight. And so it'll be an honor for sure. We've never been on the same team. I don't even think I can pick up we've been on the same team. So it's been it'll be really cool to be able to share the floor with him for sure.
Jalen.
Hey, Bradley, congrats on the All-Star selection once again. Just kind of feeding off what Brianna said. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you and Jason Tatum are actually the first St. Louis-born All-Stars since David Lee did so in 2013. Does that motivate you at all? And have you talked to Jason at all about the journey from St. Louis to the NBA now?
All the time. I mean, all three of us went to the same high school. So
Right.
we're just, I guess, products of our environment in a way. We all push each other. And, D. Lee was the pioneer in the whole process. And me growing up, I admired his path, and I went to Florida just like he did. Ended up signing to the same agent as he did, and it's definitely unique to be able to see our paths all kind of be similar in a way. And I definitely credit David for that. I'm definitely happy and thankful that Jason was able to pick up the reins too, and see that it was possible within himself. And for him to be able to make a name and be where he is today. So to be able to have this my third All-Star game. I think Jason's second or third, even too. And then for us to be able to be from the same city, D. Lee has, I think, 2 under his belt. That speaks volumes, and we're only going to continue to get better.
Thank you.
Cameron.
Hey, Bradley. Congratulations on another All-Star nomination. Sir, I wanted to ask you about your Washington Wizards team. Last year, you visited LA, you weren't too happy, you put up big numbers, but you weren't too happy with the competitive spirit of the team. And I want to ask you about this year, the competitive spirit. Kind of what do you notice as a difference, and then how you guys are vibing on your way to make a playoff push?
Well, I feel like we're 7-3 in our last 10. So we've been clicking really well, and we try not to make excuses, but we had a bus load of them at the beginning of the year. Everybody not being at camp, COVID hitting us. We had 7 to 8 guys of our guys out. So we were playing with guys we had to add and on the fly, bringing up our G League guys, and kind of throwing them in the fire. So it was tough for us. But I would definitely say our competitive spirit has always been there, even when we lost. Like, it was just the little bad habits that we created that ended up losing us those games, down the stretch, not closing them out. And I would say in the last 10 games, we've been a lot better at that. We've lost some. I think we got our butt kicked maybe one time out of, the 10 games. I think the Clippers whooped us. So it was good for us to be able to get in that mode of, gelling back together, and playing really good basketball, playing playoff style basketball. That's what we've been doing. And so that's been very promising. And it just took some time, for that to happen, for guys to be able to get their rhythms, get their energy back, get back into the flow of the game. But we have our work cut off for us in the second half of the year. We got 38 games, 78 back-to-backs. So it'll be tough, but the work ethic is there, the focus is there. So on that standpoint, I'm happy about it.
And lastly, I'd like to ask you about the evolution of your game. Personally, kind of how you feel you have grown, or the game has slowed down for you over the past, say, 3 or 4 years. Anything special you've been working on, or is it just growth?
I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, I work on my game to a T. Like, I'm very passionate about my craft, and the things I'm good at, I try to perfect, and the things I'm not so good at, I try to get better at. And I've always had that mentality since a little kid, and I still apply it to my game today. And at the same time, I also think a lot of it has to do with my confidence, my faith, God's blessings, just to be on the path I'm on and to be in the situation I'm in, because like you said, it has been, 3 or 4 years of me kind of growing on this path. And now it's not like it's a fluke thing. Everybody's like becoming a believer of it. So in that regard, it's just, I just keep pushing, keep putting the work in, and just let my game speak for itself.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll give the last question to Gerardo. You there, Gerardo? Culture of Sports.
Yep. Hey, Brad.
Right.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Fans in DC are eagerly waiting to attend games. As of this week, Major Bowser is still not allowing fans in the nation's capital. And although she continues to ask for patience, some of the Nats, Washington Nationals players have disagreed with her decision. How important for you is the DC fan base right now? You're 7-10 at home. How important for you is for fans to come back to DC, and what's your take on it right now?
Well, I don't want fans until everything is my biggest concern is safety. Like I can hoop with or without fans personally. I'm not sitting here saying we don't miss the fans. It definitely changes the dynamic of the game, the intensity of the game, I think, in a way. But safety is the biggest and main concern, and it's more or less for them, because they won't technically have access to us. They won't be like right on top of us or anything like that. So it's just making sure that everybody's safe. We're trying to keep the world safe. Like, especially in DC, we have to understand that we're at the focal front. We're at the focal front of everything. We are the nation's capital, so everything we do is magnified, and everything we do will be copied, and kind of go from there. And so I think what the mayor's doing is exemplary. Like, she has to do that, and I'm with her. Like, I don't think we should have fans until we're good, honestly. So I mean, it's definitely tough not being able to hear the the chants and the roars and the screaming that we need to give us that push. But I mean, at the same time, that's why we're paid a lot of money to go out there and do what we do. So it's no excuse. Nobody has home court advantage.
All right, thanks. All the best, man.
Thank you.
All right, Brad. Appreciate your
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll see you post game.